Hello and happy midday to you. It is the 26th of February. It's Friday. Ah, yes, we are here yet again to talk about business, talk about what's going on in the news, and basically just talk about stuff we don't really know anything about. But that's just the way it is. Anyway, let's do the headlines. So, over 40s next in line to get a COVID vaccine. Hang on a minute. Wait, what? I'm 52. I haven't had it. What's going on? Over 40s next in line to get a COVID vaccine. Teachers and other occupations should not be prioritised in the next phase, says UK vaccine expert. I haven't had much sleep. So I'm stumbling on my words, so bear with. Summoned to face oh my lord, I can't speak. Inquiry amid conspiracy claims. He is to be questioned by MSPs over his claims of malicious and concerted conspiracies against him. I feel like it's a conspiracy Friday today. I don't know, I just feel that way. Harry, press were destroying my mental health. The Duke of Sussex spoke to TV host James Corden, of course he did, about his life in the US and after stepping back from his royal duties. I think it's a quiet news day because the other headline we have is Britney fans, which I know Darren's a Britney fan. Britney fans have it wrong about conservatorship. Yes. Jamie Spears is a dedicated and loyal father who stopped her being exploited, his lawyers said. I feel like I just want to go back to bed today. It's just a mess. Anyway, let's see. Oh, we've got somebody in who hasn't been in for a bit. Hang on a minute. Should we bring him on first? No, we'll bring Down on first, actually.
It's just in my Britney impression. Was that Madonna? I don't know.
You're just ordering a taxi cab there. You're a taxi cab operator. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, all good. The sun's out. It's shining.
It is.
You know, we've got some sort of lockdown rules going on and we've got new sites and it's all really exciting. Lots of movement. I'm really excited.
Really excited. Let's see who else we have in. Now, who could be in who hasn't been in all week? Yes, there he is. As ever, really well lit with too much light behind you.
Oh, I'm in the office. I mean, I can't switch them out.
Wow.
Maybe. Is there a window in front of you, possibly? Anywhere you could put that? No? You've got a windowless office, except for all the ones that are around you, where the lights are.
There's a window in the corner, but it's nowhere near this laptop. I mean, stop moaning because everyone else can see me. I mean, gee whiz, what's up here? My view.
No. Can I tell you, Mark? Can I tell you? You're in the dark there, so other people are lying to you because they just don't want to see your face. I want to see your face. That's the way it is.
Oh, I've got to log into there.
Oh my lord, what was that? Anyway, Mark. You've had a busy week because things are changing.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, obviously, we've all waited for the announcement of the UK roadmap. I'm sure you guys have covered that. But with that in mind...
yes.
Yeah, but with that in mind, you know me, I don't wait for anything. I'll be straight in there. So I'd already planned for events to start happening from May, possibly the end of April. So we've had to move a couple around. But the great news is, I spoke to the venue here, BE offices in Birmingham. We've got a rooftop terrace, outside terrace, and you can have outside events for 50 people. So 27th of May, the bank holiday, we're doing an after-hours drinks on the Thursday night, 5:30 on the roof terraces. Going to get the bar.
What's the date? What's the date of that?
Thursday, 27th of May.
Are we okay to do that then?
Yes. Outside events.
Are we? Okay, all right. Just checking.
Yeah, I've checked. Outside events.
The thing is, this is the. I know you have to plan forward, and I'm fully aware. No. I'm just saying. I know you have to plan forward, but you have to be a little bit careful without waving your hands in the air and putting flags out, saying, "Hey, we're gonna have a drink on top of the roof." It may change. So just, I don't want you getting upset.
Everything is subject to change. Of course, it is. The whole.
Of course, it is.
Back in the lockdown, but when my 2 8-year-olds, turn around to me in a conversation to school and say, "Daddy, this is going to be the last lockdown ever. An 8-year-old.
Aren't they posh, your kids?
God.
The way they speak. Father, this is the last lockdown. Father.
Papa.
Pa! I'm fed up with the servant bringing me drinks all day. I'd like to get them myself now.
The point is, of course, we can all be subject to change. Everything can be subject to change.
Yeah, that's right.
We have to do things properly. We have to do them in the guidelines. But I've looked at the government website. It has said outside events, you can do stuff and max them off. And that is it. And that's the only thing we do. So there's a caveat to it all. They could turn around and say in April, we're not going to open up again.
April Fools. I love. Has anybody seen the brilliant picture meme, whatever it's called these days, of Boris? And it's someone's Wikipedia'd him, and his birthday is on the 19th of June. So basically, he's ended lockdown the weekend of his birthday weekend. It's just brilliant, isn't it? I love it. And I have to respect the guy for that. If that is his sole, right and extra, then that's brilliant.
Is it his birthday? Is it 60 or something like that?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just love that it's opened up.
How old is he?
He's not old. No, he's not that old. I think he's mid-50s only, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The other thing about the unlockdown rules is the kids, and you mentioned school and your kids, when they go back to school, they have to wear face coverings the whole day. Yeah, that's hard. I know it's not hard in the grand schemes of war and everything else. This perspective, but nevertheless, it is tough to go and say to a kid all day. They're not nurses. They're not doctors. They've got to go and sit in face coverings all day. It is tough. It's a tough thing to ask of a child.
So I'm just looking at the news headlines, which I just read out terribly today. The over 40 is next in line to get it. Darren, have you had the notification to have yours?
Well, we've been told we're close to getting it because we're carers. So I'm a carer of a disabled child.
Of course.
So and also 50 plus like yourself, Matt. So I'd expect to have, but no, I've not had a date. I'm not expecting any time now.
So what you're saying?
Mark's going to say he's under 50 now. Look.
Yeah, I was going to say I can finally get it. No, this is it. As you know, my wife's a police officer. Half the guys there are getting it.
A year and a half.
They're getting it. But, whatever. She's doing a job here, mate. She's making sure you're locked away. No, but ultimately, they've had to, and they've been forward thinking. The chief constable and the turn around, the PPC guy, turn around, whatever the police, whatever said. We will be available for the spare injections that are being thrown away. And this was 3 months ago. So even though everyone else is getting injections, the frontline staff still aren't completely.
I'm with you, Mark, and it really is hard. This injection and timeline and everything else, even with me being a carer and everything, it's really, really hard. I can't. There's a lot of blame going back. There's a comedian, Paul Chowdhury. I don't know if everybody knows Paul Chowdhury. Very funny Asian comedian, very on PC, always screaming racist chants at just about every race, including his own. And it's very funny. But the really unfortunate thing is his mother's died of COVID over the last few days. Yeah. And he's saying because of the BAME thing that hasn't been taken into account properly, and Asians are only 5% of the population, and actually the ones that want the take up are less than that. This queue, it's really hard to say who should be at the front of that queue. And if that queue is working, it's so hard. It's just, regardless of what your political, preferences are, I don't think it's an easy task to keep juggling this queue. It's impossible.
Yeah,
it's an impossible
absolutely.
task.
So what I'm saying is I'm not criticising the government or anyone else for the stance. What I'm saying is the Gloucestershire police took the force up right. Let's not throw these injections away.
Yeah.
We've got crews that can be with you in 4 minutes. Yeah. Let them get there to get these injections. So that is great to see. But at the same time, there's so many people, as you say, who are going to be missed with this, and it's going to be too late. And obviously, without touching too much, personally for yourselves, isn't it, mate?
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrible. And all we want to do is think that the government or the rollout is happening and they're the fastest. What is it? The fastest in Europe now that to get this mass vaccinations. I know we're being criticised by France and other people for obviously taking it, not doing it properly or whatever. From the viewpoint that they feel that AstraZeneca, or did at one stage, was not tested enough and they wouldn't give it to anyone younger than or the elderly, whatever. And you just think, well, are we ever going to get it right? Is it ever going to be 100? No vaccination.
I think they're all moaning in mainland Europe because of the problems with the distribution there and them not ordering it. I think that's what it's to do with, as much as them saying, "Oh, over 60s shouldn't have it." I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's all been proved now that it works for everybody. Even, I mean, they're testing below 18 now, aren't they? And they're doing that with live people, but actual real people. It's not a thing, is it? So it's
other than dummies.
That's it. God, get that 12-year-old me. There's no effect. So I think France are just very much like that, being a bit petty. And yes, we are coming up to 19 million, aren't we now? And that's just phenomenal.
Boris is a buffoon. He really is a buffoon. But I have to say, when you look, he has literally gone out with his credit card after a drunken night and bought every vaccine going. This new one that's just come out, he's bought 15 million of them. He's just not, when it comes to the vaccine, the guy's just not messing about. And I have to hand it, everything he's done wrong, I've got to hand it to him. He has certainly gone out there and had an absolute screamer on his credit card.
He did say from the start, he said right from the start, it's the vaccine that's going to get us out. He did say that. If you go back and look at the news conferences, that's the thing he said, and that's what he's stuck by. It's the only thing he's stuck by.
And that's it. And that's that is where spring is in the air. I mean, we're not quite there yet, but it feels like it, and it feels positivity coming through now. Darren, for your own business, you've said yourself, you're opening more sites, you're getting there. We're all getting ready for the anticipation. Now, I'm not. For me, in events and all the rest of it, and I know what you're saying, waving the flag and shouting, why not? We've got to say we're going to get back to some sort of business and doing business, and it's been a long, long winter of discontent.
I'm just looking forward to the YouTube video of Mark being arrested by his wife for having an on-roof party, unlicensed party on the roof. It'd be just fantastic, wouldn't it?
That would be great. That would be funny.
It's fine. She's not
being fined £10,000 for his.
I mean, I must. Thanks for putting me on the back foot. I was just that we will
do we still have to, when we come up to this party, and
we are invited, aren't we?
Oh yes, we're all invited, mate. We'll all be there because Grant's going to buy the first round, obviously, as we know. But do we still have to have 2 metre distancing? Do we know those rules yet?
Well, I looked into this. It'd be the same as pubs and all the rest of it. You're allowed in the gardens, all the rest of it. That'd be a benchmark. But I would invent, put the thing on it that you'd still need to be temperature checked. You still need to be gloves. You still need to use sanitisation because you're coming through the building to get to, as you would do a pub. If you've got a pub and you have to go through a pub to get to the garden, you've got to be in that social distance to get to the garden. Yeah, there'll be no stopping in the building. You'll be coming straight through, and it'd be staged. And that's me taking a policy on it.
I mean, also obviously the toilets as well, isn't it? They've got to go inside to use the toilets.
I mean, this building's been open for hours. I mean, Billy Office Headspace have done an amazing job with that. They've kept on top of their COVID compliance. When we come in, we have to wear masks. We have to, we have to do a temperature check. We take the stairs as opposed to the lifts. And when you're in your own office, that's when you don't wear masks type thing. But generally, but it'll be.
Who is that? Who's pinging?
Sorry, it's me. I need to turn. Sorry, I'll get rid of that.
That's right.
Go on. If that's your new track, Darren, it's crap.
I spoke to it because the restaurants will be open then as well. Restaurants will be it'll be on the number of 6 indoors. So again, how do you monitor that? So we'll be following the trend before we get there. And
don't you think? Wouldn't you thought it was wiser Mark, and this is just a comment. It's not. I always back you everything you do, and that's not being funny. I'm being serious there. Would you thought it was better just to wait another month, just so when we're fully out of it, and then you won't have to have any problems with, being together, being inside, being outdoors, getting food in, getting a restaurant. I mean,
by April, everyone's going to be in gardens, beer gardens anyway.
Well, I understand that, but it's
so
just
we're going to be looking at that trend. We're going to, you've got to do everything within your power as a business. We have members who are paying us and have supported us throughout all this. Yes, you could wait because realistically, you're waiting another 4 months before you do anything. And 2 months.
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, but 2 months of that, restaurants are already saying we're open for business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you, Mark. I think that it's a controlled. It's the first time I've been sort of positive and confident that actually, when you look at the ramp up of vaccines and the population and the risk, it will be exponential. The risk will start to come down exponentially because there'll just be less people out there. There's the ability to catch it, therefore transmit it, and therefore. So I think you're right. I think it's a careful open up, same as us. It'll be, we'll be having the distance stuff and having the hand washing and all the good stuff. The COVID rules will be there, but I just feel more confident. I suppose relaxed is a dangerous word to use, but I do feel more relaxed. I do feel more confident because I do feel for once we have a roadmap that's probably going to work.
No, I think you're right there, Dan, because I think it's given us a chance to obviously to plan, which both of you are doing in the businesses that you're running, because you, at the end of the day, it's both your businesses are public led, because you've got members of the public face to face. So it's I think it's good. I wasn't being negative there.
No, it's a good question.
I was just trying to, would that extra month helped? But you've got to move forward at some point. So we'll just see,
I think it's great that you question it, mate, because at the end of the day, it's not something. I know Darren's questioning it. We're all questioning. We're questioning: Is it right? Is it this? And we're all going to be watching science. We're also going to be watching what the procedures will be, and there's caveats in contractuals, everything when people book in, that the date is subject to change. Should we be advised? Otherwise,
right.
There's no.
I think this is. I feel very confident this roadmap is laid out, and I don't want to over egg it, but I feel very confident in it. I don't think, unless something absolutely terrible happens, I think we're going to be this is the way it's going to be. We're going to get to the end point quite easily, as long as the vaccine keeps rolling out. Well, I'm not even worried about that, because we've done 18 million.
Yeah, I think schools are going to be the telltale sign. And as much as people have kicked Boris, and I'm on the fence, that we go back in one big bang. What it does, it's cannon fodder, but cannon fodder at our least risk, unfortunately. And the reality is, the thing that we all believe that probably caused the spike last year is testing the water. Is it going to cause a spike again? It's the first thing he tests. And it's rightly to do, because actually them kids are going to come back to hopefully people that are vaccinated that won't catch. So even if the kids have it, that it won't have that same spread that it had last year. So I understand why he's doing that. And I think that's the only real negative part is we'll know after the first 5 weeks, is it full soap or isn't it? And if you look at the bookings and you look at the caravan sites, because obviously we're sort of working partnerships with holiday parks, they're seeing a massive influx. But they've also, if we look at the first 2 weeks of April for holiday parks and ourselves, them first 2 weeks are a big cash injection for us to sustain to work over May, June, July up to the summer, and then the summer is just immense. So that cash injection from April we've lost now. But all the holiday parks I deal with have gone, you know what? We don't care. We don't care, because as long as it safeguards us opening up in the summer and it gives us a true safeguard and not that drop again, we'll take that hit. We'll take the hit because it gives us so much confidence about the summer.
I mean, I think it's gonna. I don't think they're going to release everything where you can be flying this summer. And even if they do, I think the problem you've got is, how are the other countries going to be dealing with this? Because it's if we're and the states are the main countries that have vaccinated, where everybody else is lagging seriously behind us, both the countries, then are we going to have issues going somewhere? Now, I have booked. I haven't booked a summer holiday. I'll be going down to my caravan site in Wales. Not mine, but the one I've always visited. And I've got the last week of August in there, so that's cool, brilliant. But I have booked a winter holiday to Iceland in October. Nice. So, and it allowed me to book it. It was all fine. There was no caveats anywhere about that. There's plenty of places to stop. That's for sure. You get a booking.com and it's just streams of hotels and properties. So that's going to be an interesting one to see if we're going to be allowed into a country. I think we'll be, once everybody's vaccinated by whatever the date will be in July, I think from that point on, the government will say, well, just do what you can now. You can do what you want.
Isn't that interesting that there's loads of places abroad? So I haven't looked abroad, but that's the general feeling I get. There's loads. If you want to book abroad, you've got you take your pick. Where the UK is, the bookings are 200% up, 200% up a UK booking. So you can't, if you want to go on holiday in the UK, you got no chance. If you haven't booked, or you're going to struggle.
But it's heartwarming to feel, isn't it? Because these industries have been on their arse for so long. And what we've got now is we've got a whole emphasis to go out and support. There is no, eat out to support. It's a general feeling from everyone out here of planning and doing things. I know people who've booked in the UK 5-6 trips in little weekend breaks. And that's not cheap to do that, but they're doing it. No. They want to go and get out, but they also want to build. They're doing their bit to support the local economy. My wife has said, I said, we could go away a weekend, and she come up, well, what about the kids? Are you jesting me? I've had the kids for nearly a year. But anyway. But she said, no, I want to do stuff with the kids. I want to take them options. I want them to see things. There's so much they've missed out on.
Spoil your holiday, that does.
It does.
So next week, okay, let's just look forward planning a little bit. Now, next week is the budget, obviously. Now, do you think, don't say that, Darren, but do you think that I personally think they've got to keep the support there now for the businesses for the next few months, because the furlough's got to stay in place, the self-employed support's got to stay in place, and everything else they're going to try and get in place, because we're all going to open up again, but we don't know how these businesses are going to actually, I don't want to use the word bounce back because it always makes me shiver, but how are they going to bounce back into this? Because there's still got to be support, isn't there? Surely.
Oh, absolutely. So some of the things they're doing at the moment, and I think if you think of a nightclub has probably taken a 50 grand loan, bounce back loan, and not even took any money to even be able to start to think about repaying that loan. So one of the things they're doing at the moment is they're deferring the loans for another year and giving you the option to go over 10 years. So they're making it even easier to pay back. And though they're saying it could impact your credit score, I doubt in 5 or 10 years when you go to have whatever growth loan or whatever loan you need to support, it will have an impact, because just about everybody would be mad not to take that option. So everyone will be in the same boat. So the banks will recognise that actually it was an unprecedented time. And I think that businesses still need that support. We need that support. I could screen out for a grant or two, just to, not that grant, but a grant or two to, just one of them is enough.
Ask for a grant in the year, Piers.
To get us a little bit more comfortable and safer feeling as we expand. We're having to dig deep. So we know the money's going to come back in, but we don't have that buffer, and it is a kickstart. We do need that extra little bit of money, and another push, another bit of help now would go a long way.
No, it would definitely is. Grant, hello, how are you?
I'm good. Are you
late, guys. Are you in Redditch?
I think he's walking a whippet. Have you got a whippet or something you've just walked? Or
sorry,
or you doing?
I didn't know what you said.
Are
you in Redditch, Grant? Then sorry,
I am. Yeah, I'm just at.
I thought you. I recognise that door.
Your old pub, mate.
Yeah, and yours.
Yeah,
it was more yours.
Had a little leak, so I'm a bit late. So one of the pipes has burst. So I've been trying to get that sorted. Bit of a pain.
Oh well. Are they just actually talking about that? Then are they actually going to be opening up again in a few months when they?
Yeah, I think it'll be May before they open up. So it's been really. I mean, I feel desperately for the leisure industry. It's it's a shame. Really dreadful. But they're still kicking. They're still enthusiastic. these guys have weathered the storm. They're very keen to renew their lease. So,
oh, that's good
so
then.
That's a good sign.
That's the most important. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. It's because it must have been hard. I mean, I wouldn't want to even want to contemplate what it'd be like. You know, it's you struggled when it was open. You know, when all our businesses, the leisure businesses we had, were open normally. You know, it was tough times then, and then just to find it, just to be completely closed down, is just horrendous. I mean, I saw you commented this morning about the orange tree. Grant, is that what? I didn't read the full post that went on this morning. What was that about? Are they still not sure about their plans?
They're still trying to figure out. I mean, they're a client of mine, the lovely pub group.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, awesome bunch of pubs and restaurants. They're restaurants as well. You know,
they certainly are.
They're lovely. But what they're trying to get their head around is with the new announcements for leisure in terms of the sort of phased opening where they'll be doing, you know, you can do takeout and then sit outside. It's just exactly how they manage that. They've got several different venues, and some of them are more adaptable to outside seating than others. So really, that post was just sort of say, look, we're working on it. We can't take bookings just yet because we've just got to figure out exactly how we do it. I mean, I think reading between the lines, they're just waiting to be absolutely certain that the announcements and the time frame that we've been given, they stick to, because they were all geared up ready for Christmas. You know, they'd taken bookings, they had everything sorted, people getting excited about Christmas, and then obviously they had to cancel. So I think they're just edging their bets a bit.
Yes, it's going to be difficult times ahead, really.
You say that it's interesting that, Grant. There's a pub in Bude, and it's known for a bit of a nightlife. It's a lovely bar. Never does food, and what it allows you to do, and you can go and buy your kebab from across the road or have a pizza delivered, and they'll bring out a knife and fork and they'll bring out a plate, and you can have your own food. I've known people bring Chinese in there and they put it on plate and they'll wash up for you, but they don't do food. But it is a really nice concept. It's a lovely place, got a great vibe. But I think last year, because of the tier system, and they've dabbled in food, but they've always failed. It's a very small ability for a kitchen. I think they were that worried this year that the tier system will come back in over the winter. They've put in a kitchen. They've hired somebody, but now that might backfire on them, because the reality is that we might not go into a tier system now. So they're thinking we can't open unless we can offer food. And actually, we're getting to a point now we're going, that's so last year, you might have just wasted 20 grand putting the kitchen in and diversifying so much to try and to get the market. Is so tough. What a hard decision.
It's a difficult decision that they've made, but I think it's probably the right decision, because the amount of people who want to go out initially, and if they get the food service right, and they'll have that, everybody will have that influx when it all reopens, that there may not be enough initially. So I think they've probably got to hit the ground running there, and then as long as they keep that working and that, you know, in that at that high level, well, not high level, but a good service level, that'd probably work for them. But it's weird. But no, Grant, just before you were coming on, because obviously the budget's next week, and we were just talking about the support for businesses, which it still is going to be needed, isn't it? Still, to help them through the reopening of everything for the next few months. So, are you hoping that they're going to continue with the support for the small businesses?
I think it's a balance, isn't it? That my kind of view on the economy of the country is, at the moment, I'm pretty worried about the amount of debt that we're racking up as a country. And on the other hand, you know, the support that's been given has been phenomenal. You know, as a country, we've done more for our businesses and people than I think any other country. And, you know, much as some of the team do like to have a dig at the old politicians, there's some things that we really need to have a lot of gratitude for, you know. The leisure industry and the tourist industry are the two businesses that have been hit hardest. Obviously, the knock-on effect for that is huge. And there's obviously lots of other businesses that are pretty close behind those two. But as we now start to see the future, I think we do have to start being sensible about how much money we can keep giving, because it's really, really tough to say this, because my heart goes out, but it has been a case of survival of the fittest for businesses, you know, and the businesses that were struggling are the ones that will have gone under, and the ones that were strong, the support will have been just enough to keep them going. And in leisure industry in particular, you know, obviously I deal with quite a lot of leisure industry businesses, and I know a lot of people in the leisure trade, you know, pubs, restaurants, hotels, that kind of stuff, been dealing in that industry for years from a digital perspective. The competition was fierce, and there were a lot of businesses that were struggling. A lot of big businesses, big change, you know, famously, you know, before the pandemic, you know, Carluccio's for example, you know, and you know, there were quite a few high profile chains, weren't there, that got bought out and thinned down. And I think the truth is, and it's tough to say, that there were too many restaurants, you know, there was too much, and what this has done is kind of filtered it down to the point where, you know, the strongest will survive, and now there'll be a lot of opportunity because people will be desperate to go out, won't they? That's
right. There always is. You know, anything with we've got to wind things up, unfortunately, but you know, anything with a pandemic or a monetary crash, you know, stock market crash, or anything like that, it sort of cuts away the chaff. And it thins everything out, doesn't it? And it's but I think you're right, Grant. The opportunities that's going to be there once everything comes back and everything resets are going to be phenomenal. It really is,
and that's exciting. And we say it with some sensitivity because
of course,
every time businesses go under, it causes such hardship, and
it is terrible.
You know, we know what that's like in business. It's really, really tough. But you know, that's the way the economy goes. Pandemic or no pandemic. Boom and bust is the way it's designed, unfortunately.
No, that's right.
You know,
that's very, very, very true. Okay, right. So I've got to wind up because I'm actually on a call at in 5 minutes' time, so I must go. So what's everybody doing for the weekend? I must say, I can hear a lawnmower going outside, and with the sun out, it's like spring already.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's lovely.
It's just great. So I think we're going to venture outside into the garden. I think this weekend. Darren, what are you up to? Nothing.
I'm gonna look at doing. I've got a roof terrace, quite a big roof terrace that needs a balcony. I'm going to look at doing that bit of DIY, and I'm actually going to. I'm going to try and put some Vaseline all over this body to see if it goes back in a wetsuit and get on a board for the first time in a long time. So
please,
that's going to be
get some pictures. Please get some pictures. That would be ace for next week. Okay. Grant, what are you up to other than fixing pipes?
Yeah, I'll be a lot of work. I want to get my gym sorted out this weekend. So I'm going to be working in the garage.
Brilliant. Okay, well, that's good. Let's get all keep busy. It's the main thing. I've got a stacked weekend, so it's moving about everywhere. Going to Costco as well. Quite looking forward to that. So that's
not another telly.
No, not another telly. No, essential shopping. That's the way it is. Anyway, everybody, we'll be back on Monday at 12 o'clock for then. We'll be doing, hopefully we're going to do a little special show next week for the budget. We're not sure what the timings are, but we'll try and work something out for that. I'm back for the house party across all the normal networks this evening. And that is it. Have a great weekend, everybody. See ya.
Good weekend all. Cheers. Bye. Bye.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,